Morning. This Panda Dog and Kitty Blaze with the Timepiece Garden. It's wet. It's rainy. I've not seen the chickens yet. I'm going to have to go check on them. I did open their stuff up this morning. They're probably just hanging out in the coop because it's cold. I know, it's a panda bears, huh? So I just got home. I know. Oh, look out. You got your paw stuck in Mama's pockets. I know. Just come checking it out, Mom. All right. I will talk to you in a little while. You know, I'm gonna be like Kitty Blaze there. I'm gonna stay in the house where it's warm. Talk to you in a few. So now this is my first year with the chickens. And I figure they're gonna teach me stuff the way chickens will teach you. You know, what they like, what they don't like. I was a little worried about their coop and their run because it's been moist with all the rain. And that it might freeze up a little, you know, with this freeze coming. Hi chickens, I know. They're all hanging out here in the dry spot under the tractor and the. Anyway, yeah, they're hanging out here. So I brought their treats out here with them, and I'm gonna let you go so I can go ahead and give them some treats out here. I will probably end up hanging some greenhouse plastic off of the majority of their run, and not just the tarp. Just to see if Kitty Blaze just came up. There's the kitty and the panda dog. Just to try and give them a little more dry space. Anyway, let me deal with critters. Talk to you in a few. So, as always, what do you do on a cold, rainy day? You cook. Oven to 400. Got 4 little mini tins. These are ready to go. It's my recipe. It's blueberries. Yep. There's the, dry mix, the wet mix. Now it talks about muffin cups. I don't use muffin cups. I use the bread tins, the mini tins. It will take a little longer than 20-25 minutes in a bread tin. And so, toothpick test as always. Little note there. If you like the muffins up over the top of the muffin tins, it only makes about 8 instead of 12. You add water to the other tins to keep them from overcooking. Again, I'm not doing cupcake stuff. And then that's the crumble that I put on top. And I've not put the crumble on it yet. It's right there. Crumble's going on it next. So, get the crumble on them. Get them in the oven. I'm actually going to do 2 batches today, so I'll end up filling these other tins as well. But I got to get the first 4 done, not in the oven, just done and kind of set off to the side, and then I'll get the second stuff mixed and blended. So, talk to you later, probably when they come out. See you in a few. I almost blew it. So, it's still raining. You can hear it a little. It's not heavy right now. But we're supposed to get into a freeze, at least as low as 32 tonight. And then over the next 2 days or 3 nights, somewhere along that line, up here on the mountain we're supposed to go down to 22. I'm in a little bit of a panic mode because I have not unplugged any of my hoses. And while the hoses will survive, you can still see I've got a hose laying right here. I'm not wrapping any of them up to the house or to the shed. Of course, it's going to start raining harder now. But like this one is still plugged into the house. It can't be. It will drain as soon as I unplug them. But it's the same thing with the gardens. Those hoses are also still plugged into my big 600-gallon tanks. I have to drain them. Not the tanks specifically, but the hoses. I need to turn the tanks off, that makes sense, and then drain the hoses. And mostly it's just unplugging it. Because once you unplug it, being that the upper end of the hose is at the upper end of the pipe, it will drain on its own. Does that make sense? There's no backfill of pressure from the tank going into the hose. So anyway, I'm going to run back in the house and grab the umbrella. And Kitty Blaze might stay in his house, I don't know. But Panda is like, let's go, Mom, let's do something. So she and I will talk to you later. So this one's the easier of the two. It's always in the off position unless I'm watering, so all I had to do was unscrew the hose. Now I'm not trying to put the hose away today. It is already cold enough that if I do that, I'll end up kinking it or cracking it. I'm a little mad. I guess we had enough of a storm that it blew my pipe off of the catchment. Not a huge issue. Sorry, I'm gonna empty the junk that the screen catches off. Yeah, junk that the screen catches. Not a huge, it's full. Not mad, but always I'm gonna have to look at how that's attached. Just not today. Tank's full, I'm not worried about it today. Now the other one is gonna be a little bit more problematic. And not really problematic, just a little more time consuming. I gotta turn off the valve, does that make sense? So the tank stops flowing. And then open this valve, which lets air in to the primary pipe. And then go all the way down to the bottom, way down there, and open it so the entire pipe drains. Otherwise, if we truly go down to 22 degrees, the water in the pipe will freeze and it will split. Can't have that. Gotta have airflow both at this end and at that end. So, let me get busy, and I'll talk to you later. Primary tank is off. The valve up top is open. Now what we get to do is we get to open the bottom valve here. You're gonna watch water spill out. And then it's just gonna stop here after a second, because what it's doing is it's draining the entire pipe. I should have done this the other day when I was harvesting and completely forgot. And I am so glad I remembered, because we've not froze yet. Alright, it's roughly 175 feet worth of pipe. Get a little worried. Come on. Now, because of the pressure, because it's downhill, from all the way up there at the workshop, it'll maintain that pressure till there's just no water left in the pipe. It's just like, come on. I don't think it's flowing as hard. I don't know. Well, this worries me. I don't want to empty my tank. I'm gonna come up here where I have another one that has no hose attached. I'm gonna open it. Alright, I'm gonna go back up and check the tank. I expected it to have less water flow going on. Talk to you in a minute. It is off. I turned it back on, so when the X is going left and right, you could hear water flowing, so it's back off. Let me go back down. Maybe there's just more water in this pipe than I realized. Talk to you in a few. Alright. That one's done. Yay! This one's almost done. Which is a good thing. It's emptying. That's what it needs to do. So, now I'm gonna leave that valve open. I'm gonna leave the valve open there that I left open, and I'm gonna leave the top valve open, not to the tank, but to the actual piping. That way cold air can go in and flow wherever it wants to go. Yeah, but nothing else, because there'll be no water. Having said that, I'm gonna go in the house. My hand is cold, and the chickens are like, "Can we get tomatoes?" And the answer is, of course you can. It's out here picking late enough. There's a couple that are still ripe. It did not freeze last night. It just got cold, so I'm gonna throw the chickens some tomatoes. So, the crew and I talk to you later. Eating a tomato. All right, they've got several. There's one there. You know, everybody's got a tomato. They're happy. My hands are cold. Y'all have an awesome day. And we, since the phone works right with me, we'll talk to you later. Now, just as a side note, any water that's in the hoses, because I've not pulled them up, makes sense, will drain out because there's now air in the pipe. Makes sense? So they'll empty on their own, and those will just be empty as well. So, again, with that, it's the last look of all the bright orange from the zinnias and the yellows and the marigolds. Because in a couple of days, this is all going to look just gone over. And I will talk to you later. It's just one of those quickies. This is the run area. Coop, I just got eggs out of the coop. Life is awesome. But this is what I mean. This is the only dry spot. I've got their box there that's got dirt and wood ash and DE in it. And they do get in there and do the little dust thingy. Everything else is wet. You can see that's all wet. All the way up to right here where I'm standing is wet. So that only leaves them with a couple of feet right here that's dry. So what I'm thinking about doing is literally either getting some wood or some of my greenhouse fabric or both, and like wrapping this corner and possibly that corner. It's not going to happen today over the next couple of days, but as wet as it is today, and the fact that we are going to freeze tonight, we're going to 32 degrees. And then over the next 2 days after that, we're going to go as low as 22. They need a dry spot. I think that's why they were hanging up at the workshop, because of the overhang. It was dry under the tractor, and it was this, you know, so they've got what the tractor length up there and this space down here. So I need to figure something else out, or does that make sense? Just to give them a dry spot, not in the wind. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. Does that make sense? Because otherwise they get too much moisture, and their feathers will molt, and their feathers will actually freeze, type thing. So, ooh, change hands. Let the hand with the glove hold the phone. All right. So having said that, I'm going to give them some scratch. It helps them keep their temperature up. They're on average, when they've got a full tummy, their temperature is about 107. So, you know, they get up on the roof, snuggle next to each other, and they stay quite warm. If you look at the food barrels, even those have got water on them. So, definitely want to cover this side up. And you can see like that leaf is moving in the wind. You know? Just think I'm gonna do something. I'm not sure what, but I'm gonna do something. All right, I'm gonna quit rambling, give them some feed, go in the house and warm up my hands because they're starting to hurt. Mostly because they got wet. You know, messing with water. And I will talk to you later.